talk to us about the state of evictions during COVID-19. Has there been a rise? Have we been seeing a rise in evictions?
Unfortunately, yes, we have. And even this morning I heard in some parts of Cape Town where there's still evictions happening. And, we are saying, and that's why we went to court, not to stop evictions. We just said to them, can you do it after the lockdown if a legal order of court has been obtained, do it post the lockdown per the regulations, because then at least it can, and do it in a humane way. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's happening.
Now let's talk briefly about what happened in the city of Cape Town. Now, part of the ruling that was given there is that the city council must execute, it says, in a lawful and respectful manner, evictions in a way that upholds the dignity of evicted persons. That's part of what they said. And they also spoke about the use of excessive force and destroying and confiscating materials belonging to those who are being evicted. Now, how does one, as a resident who is going to be evicted, ensure that your dignity is upheld and that there is no damage to your personal property or even to your person?
Unfortunately, there's a history in South Africa where evictions do not respect people's dignity, neither do they respect people's personal circumstances, or do they respect, the people's furniture. Now, furniture and belongings, meager belongings, have been built up, as you would have seen, that some people went to borrow money to buy, material for their structures, and what they have in terms of the furniture, that is what they have. And sometimes gets thrown away, thrown out, it gets broken, it gets loaded onto trucks, and sometimes even people's ID documents, the documentation get loaded up and get missing in that process. And that's why we've asked that when you do an eviction, to all local authorities, to everyone, to say, do it in a humane way. Don't demolish, dismantle. At least people's dignity is being kept intact. But also, if you've seen the Kolani case and other cases where people have been threatened. I mean, there's a woman in Ocean View where the son came, he just asked, and a gun was pointed at him. Now you say, you don't fight the people. Stop making enemies of people. If people have acted wrongly, point it out and let the law take its course. Now, unfortunately, the city of Cape Town has been consistently going on and saying illegal evictions, and the Human Rights Commission condones it. We don't condone, illegal invasions. We don't condone any land occupation which is not yours. And whether it's private or public, it must be condemned. But we're asking the city and other places, why are you taking interdicts on land that is in priced area, and in the area, low price area, you don't protect it, and then when people invade it or occupy it, then you take harsh actions. So we're asking cities in this country, but in the city of Cape Town, please protect your land beforehand. Don't allow a situation. I've seen it in the Mfuleni area where people have gone on land, and when you call them, they know it to be found to come and prevent illegal occupation.
Chris, in just 30 seconds, literally, before we go to a break, if you're about to be evicted from your property, what rights do you have, and how can you ensure that those rights are being protected?
It's a very unfortunate situation, because if you're standing there and you are approached either by law enforcement or the red ends, at that moment, the only thing that goes through your mind is how do I protect my children and myself and my property? And being the aggressive manner in which people come, all the rights that you have gets thrown out the window by that aggressive and violent behavior.
So are you saying you have no rights?
You do have rights. You do have rights. But at that point in time, how do you argue with people, with gun-toting people, wanting and them breaking down the structures on top of you? And that's why Legal Resource Center and other NGOs, Lawyers for Human Rights, and the Women's Legal Center are out there to assist people to say that's why we went to court as the Human Rights Commission, to protect those people against those behaviors and uphold their rights.
Well, certainly very trying and challenging times. Chris, thank you for that insight. That's Chris Nissen there from the SA Human Rights Commission. As you know, they've been involved in a lot of the land invasions and evictions that have been taking place throughout the country. In the heat of the moment, when your property is about to be demolished, what do you do and how do you maintain those rights? It really is a matter of what you do in a split second, and that makes it even more challenging. But as he says, there are bodies that are available like theirs and the Legal Resource Centre.